everybody, Ampamine here, coming at you with some more Killing Floor 2. Now, I figured that I would just get a little bit of practice with some more solo work. I figured I'd play a little bit with the Commando, because, honestly, I have a fair amount of fun with the Commando. Commando is probably the closest thing that this game has to the Sharpshooter at the immediate moment. The Sharpshooter is going to be in the game eventually, but it's not in there yet. It's still under development by Tripwire, so I just kind of want to play around a little bit and see if I can just get a little better at this game. And honestly, I really like solo stuff because, again, it's all me, whether I win or lose, whether I succeed or fail. I can't blame it. Well, I can't blame it or actually have it be due to other teammates, that sort of thing. So I like it. Ready up. I will admit, I miss the Sharpshooter. I greatly miss the Sharpshooter. I had a good time with the Sharpshooter in Killing Floor 1. And I want to make sure that everybody knows I am not a Killing Floor 1 expert. Far from it, honestly. But I did have a great fun with the Sharpshooter in Killing Floor 1. Just because if you were good, you could be effective in many different situations. You could take down the big Zeds and the little guys, because you could just pull out your 9mm or a Mark 23 for something smaller, and you could pull out your lever-action rifle or crossbow for some of the bigger ones. You know, and just absolutely wreck. And again, I mean, I didn't play. I played a little bit of tiny bit of Hell on Earth on Killing Floor 1, and I usually kind of bounce between Suicidal and Suicidal and Hard in the first one, kind of like I do now, actually, on the second one.
Glad to see you made it through. Make for the pod and gear up.
Okay, well, that was surprisingly simple. Honestly, I love the backup I love the backup perk, the backup skill. I absolutely adore it. It is so great in so many situations for the Commando, at the very least early on. Later on, it can be advisable to switch to the enlarged mags, but in the first few rounds, it is absolutely invaluable. I cannot say enough good things about it.
Get some armor.
Yes. Okay, I am going to want to pick up dual pistols. And invariably, every time I pick up dual pistols, it's a second pistol spawns somewhere on the map.
I have to power down the pod.
And I hate that, but I'm never willing to risk not finding a second pistol. And
All Zeds on the scope.
Doing it with one,
Back
it makes it
it,
a lot harder. But yeah, I probably enjoyed Sharpshooter one of the most out of all of the other classes in KF1, though actually in Killing Floor 1 there was really not a class that I disliked, which is surprising. Ooh, hello, level 11 Commando. It is good to meet you. We'll be good friends, I expect. But yeah, there was no class that I actually disliked in Killing Floor 1, which is surprising, because in Team Fortress 2, there are classes that I don't really like playing. For example, I cannot play Spy. I am not a good Spy. I don't have the finesse for it. I don't have the skill for it. Whatever you want to call it. I can't play it well. Whereas in both Killing Floor 1 and 2, there's really no wrong or bad choice. You know, there's no class that I can't play. Berserker is sort of that way. Sort of. And that's more just because I haven't bothered to level it.
Can I shoot or what?
And I don't feel like going back and leveling more stuff. And the fact that it tends to be taken on the vast majority of servers that I play on. It's an extremely popular perk right now.
That's nearly all of them.
I try, I don't always, but I try to balance out the actual perk counts if I can, just to make sure that, you know, it's got a better chance of success, even though, depending on perk balance at any given time, that might not actually increase the chances of team success. But for now,
Clip's getting dry!
I'm generally liking
That was the
Commando.
last one. Get to the indicated pod
The
for
only
resupply.
major problems that I'm having with it are dealing with larger Zeds. And at least in solo mode, dealing with the larger Zeds is possible. With Skrakes, it's actually surprisingly easy if you can land enough headshots,
You earned the
which
money.
is
Now
a bit of a
spend it.
crapshoot. Flush pounds are just
We're
difficult.
almost out of time. Make your
plain
choices.
difficult, for better or for worse. I can deal with a Skrake or two, especially if I've got a really nice assault rifle going for me. You know, if I've got the Scar, then on solo mode I can take them out pretty quickly.
I'm about to
Flesh
shut the
Pound
pod.
is just, it's tough. It's extremely tough to deal with, both on solo and in regular play.
Pod's closed.
So
Go make a difference.
I'm well aware that that's one of the Commando's big weaknesses, but again, I think that it's a pretty big balance issue, at least in the immediate Husk, in the immediate moment, that a class like the Firebug is well able to deal with every sort of threat, both the little Zeds and the big Zeds, between something like the Falkland Burn and the microwave gun, whereas the other classes, like the Demolitionist and the Commandos, still have definite weaknesses in terms of what they can deal with. And that's something that I'm willing to bet is going to change pretty soon here. That's obviously I can't say for sure because I don't work a tripwire. I don't know exactly, how their code base is changing from day to day. Ah, crap, I didn't blow his head up fast enough. I got slimed.
Nice work.
Do need
We
to
can reopen the
heal.
trader pod soon.
Self-medication. The best kind of medication. But yes, I imagine that it's not something that Tripwire is ignoring, but I imagine that their time is split between short-term balancing and long-term actually trying to get more content into the game. Because as I will always try to emphasize, this is early access. This is not a completed game. So I don't think that
Ammo here.
really, because a lot of people say, oh well, that's just an excuse every time that something goes wrong. Well, in a way it is, and in a way it also is
Come
not.
and get your tools of trade.
Yes and no, basically. It's
Bring
not
up
an
the
excuse
trading
for
controls and
everything.
upgrade your gear.
Certainly not. And hopefully they do care about the balance issues in their game in the short term, but
Got ammo here, people.
you also have to take into account that
Nice.
they have to be well aware that the balance is going to be changing
Zeds are getting closer.
very, very, very much when they start adding in the remaining 4
Break
perks.
time's over.
I mean, there's
Get
no
back to
way
work.
that the balance isn't going
More
to
Zeds
change.
inbound.
So, as much as I would like short-term balance, you also have to temper that with the fact that the balance is going to be changing hopefully pretty soon when they add the other 4 perks. I believe it's the gunslinger, the sharpshooter, the martial artist, and something else I cannot remember for the life of me. Alright, I'm going to try and clear out this trash before I have to deal with this fleshbound who is right behind me by the sound of it.
It burns.
Well, luckily, dealing with trash is exactly what the Commando excels at. Exactly that at which the Commando excels. I try to keep my grammar proper, but sometimes when, you're
A decent beginning.
directly... he's still
Let's call
raging.
that your
Sometimes when you're in the middle of a cast, there's an angry fleshbound behind you. You can't focus on that. Alright. So yeah, headshots, if you can get them. And see, this is exactly why this is exactly what I'm talking about. There's just a raging flesh pound, and you can't really do much. There's trash all around you, and there's no way that you can deal enough DPS to the flesh pound to get it to actually die. So you pretty much just have to clear out all of the trash around that you can and hope it stops raging as soon as possible. And maybe this will do a thing. I have no idea. Crap. Because the flesh pounds hurt, in my opinion, entirely too much. I agree that they should be a significant threat, of course. That's a given. I mean, they're a big Zed. They're meant to be dangerous. Extremely dangerous, actually. But I also think that, you know, the fact that they're able to kill me in 3-4 swipes, maybe, yeah, that pretty much negated a 50 HP. Ow. That pretty much negated a 50 HP injection into myself. So,
Finish the last ones off, so I can open the trader
I
pod
think
for you.
that's a bit much. That in a single rage, you know, they can knock off half your health. I am glad that, I don't know if they changed it or if it's always been this way, but after they attack one person, they seem to stop raging.
Way better.
Which is excellent, because that keeps them from destroying an entire team, Scrake style. Oh, hello, Scrake. You are angry. Yep. Yeah, and see, the Scrake is a little slightly easier to deal with, sort of. If you're actually good at this game, which I'm not. But you will notice that with the headshots that I managed to get, its HP went down a great deal faster than the flesh pounds. So, honestly, if it weren't for the auto enrage, I probably would have gotten that. Probably. I'd like to think that I would have gotten that. So, yeah. Basically, Commando has issues, but it's still fun to play. Very, very fun to play. Honestly, all of them are still fairly fun to play. I would say support is probably the least fun to play right now because of the incredible amount of ammunition rationing that you have to do. But even so, you'll see that I've actually been playing a little bit of support, and it went from level 13 to level 15. So, none of the classes are bad right now. Some of them are in a bad spot, which, as I recall, before I really started playing Killing Floor 2 again, apparently the Berserker was in a rather bad spot, and they had a sort of remake. Tripwire remade them in the Incinerate and Detonate patch, which made them much, much more effective. Gave them the perk that, gave them either HP regeneration when they kill a Zed, or doubles their HP. So, hopefully, again, they're going to keep balance in mind as they do things, but also, again, obviously, I mean, they have to realize that whenever they add something, that it's going to change the balance pretty drastically, which I think is the issue right now with the Demolitionist and the Firebug, is they're still kind of figuring out where everything fits, as well as figuring out where the new perks are going to fit in. So, yeah, could be good, could be bad. All in all, I like it. Alright, I think that is a good place to end this episode. Thank you all very much for watching. As always, I appreciate it. This has been me, Impamine, coming at ya with some more Killing Floor 2. I will catch all of you on the flip side.